tell us about round 2. I mean, it was amazing last weekend. Just how confident are you of maintaining that level of performance here in Shanghai?
I mean, I'm hoping we can do better, and I'm hoping it can be a bit easier. I think we had a great race. Our gap to our competitors halfway through the race was, 15 seconds or something. So yeah, more lucky that there was some safety cars that kind of brought them back into the race. But we're hopeful. It's another race. It's a different weekend, so I wouldn't say we're confident that things are going to be exactly like they were. And I expect again a bit more competition from Ferrari this weekend. And we saw how quick Red Bull have been. So clearly they're not out of it. They're just as fast. I think when things are perfect, like they were in qualifying, we have an advantage. But they're certainly not far behind.
Can you tell us more about where you think you can go better? Because you got the Grand Slam last weekend. It was pole, race win, fastest lap. Where do you think you can improve?
I think as a driver, you're always at the limit of your car and what your car can do. So you're always trying to look at places to improve. I guess I'm trying to look at things I can do better. My start was good. Was it perfect? No. But it was clear where I lost some of my performance in the launch. And then just from a car point of view, the car's doing and performing well, but it's still extremely difficult to drive. We know in certain conditions, like in the wettest conditions, Max was just as quick as us. In the dry conditions, we were a bit better. So just making the car a little bit more predictable and a little bit more comfortable. But he's had a good point, I can't complain of the whole thing. He's at a good level, but between Oscar and myself, there are things that we both comment on, which gives the guys and the girls back in the factory a clear direction on what we want to improve. And I guess, yes, the car's great, but we always want more.
Lando, good luck this weekend. Thank you for that. Alex, let's come to you now. Great weekend for you and Williams in Melbourne. Were you?
But that's a great thing, great issue to have. I think we've been a bit more comfortable generally with the car this year. The feeling with the car is much better, and even though there is a bit more downforce on the car, I think it's just a bit more usable, and that's where we're getting a bit more confident with it.
I say, where is the car better? You say there's more downforce. Has that translated across both qualifying and the race, or is there one particular area that you think you're going to be stronger this year?
Truthfully, I think the race car is better than the qualifying car. I think we put more attention into the race car this year. Our long run pace in FP2 was very strong in Melbourne relative to the midfield. We still have a clear gap to the top teams, but it's always the case when the midfield teams seem to be a bit slower comparatively to the top teams in the race and in qualifying. It was a shame we couldn't use that. You don't see that, especially because of how Sunday mixed conditions were playing a part. Maybe we'll sit here in China with a bit more of a consistent weather, because that's actually where I think our cars improved the most.
And Alex, in terms of your own development, how useful is it for you to have a fast, experienced driver alongside you for the first time in many seasons?
Yeah, I mean, firstly, Carlos is pushing me on and off the track. I think in terms of his expectations of the team and where he wants the team to go in is definitely something which I'm very interested in. I think that he's obviously got a lot of experience from Ferrari, and he knows where the team needs to improve in. So for me, there's definitely a feeling that I'm also learning from Carlos as well. In terms of pure pace and driving wise, yes, it's actually, it is a different atmosphere within the team. We're pushing each other, but I'm really enjoying it. I feel like when you can look at things and study things in detail, and it's more about just getting laps together more than anything else.
How does he push you off the track?
I think it's just more his approach to perfection and wanting the team to improve. I've been in the team for 3 years now, over 3 years, and there are moments where you kind of settle and accept as time goes on, and you kind of just focus on some areas which there's weaknesses in the team, but you kind of you lose that constant naggingness. that you get when you're fresh into a team. I remember my time when I was at Red Bull and came into Williams. It was, immediately this and this and this have to improve. Whereas now it's kind of like, well, I know this is how it is, and I need to focus on these areas. I think in that sense, where Carlos is pushing, it's kind of brought me to also remember and focus on areas that not to settle on, and to push the team forward. And our goal at the end of the day end of the year is to become a top team coming into 2026. And to do that, we do need to make big changes.
What about this weekend then?
Very
Keith?
different circuit.
Yeah.
So it's for me, it'll be very interesting to see where the car falls out this weekend. I think Melbourne and China as a layout, lots of long corners around here. The tyre takes a punishing around here as well. Not much chance for the tyres to reset, to cool down after. There's not really long straights. Well, there are, but it's not as equally spread out as it is in Australia. So I think it'll be a good test for us to see where the car's at.
All right, good luck. Thank you for that. Isack, let's come to you now. A tough moment for you on Sunday, but you've endured many tough moments in your career en route to Formula One. So how quickly were you able to turn the page?
I would say on Monday already felt quite a lot better, especially knowing that it's a back-to-back weekend. So I've got to run it back, quite early, not having a month to dwell on it. So no, quite quickly, I would say.
Let's look at the positives from Melbourne, because there were many. What do you take out of that weekend?
I would say that we were surprisingly faster than we thought. Looking at Bahrain, of course, it's hard to really understand where you're at in the midfield. You don't know how much everyone is hiding or not. So, but yeah, going into Melbourne, the car was really good, and straight from FP1, I think I had a really nice feeling with the car. I was quite comfortable, and I was as close as UK as I wanted to be. So I think there was a lot of positive in terms of pure performance. Yeah.
And what are you expecting this weekend? First of all, from the racetrack, the Shanghai International Circuit.
I know the track really well from the sim. It's one track I've been since I'm a kid, playing on PS3, PS4, with the controller. So I know the track well, I would say, even though I never drove here. But I'm quite excited about it. Let's see.
And what about the sprint weekend? How much does that complicate things for you?
I would say in terms of the approach, I would say I'm quite used to this. The last 3 years, that's what I've been doing, right? FP and then straight into qualifying with only a few push laps. So the approach, I know how to get it right. But of course, I'd rather have three practice sessions, that's for sure.
All right, look, best of luck this weekend, Isack. Thank you very much for that. Let's go to the broadcasters now. We will start with David.
Afternoon, gentlemen. Good to see you all. Isack, question for you. Melbourne was a really solid week until the formation lap, and I think everyone around the world could see how distraught you were, and our hearts went out to you, all except one person who said that your reaction was embarrassing. So what did you feel about Dr. Marco's comments? After all, shouldn't he have a bit of compassion for someone he's brought into Formula One?
I found it embarrassing myself. And Helmut, I had him on the phone, a day later, and it's all good. I know him since a few years now. I'm used to, I know how he works, and also another point. I think he said that in a he was speaking German. He was reinterpreted differently. You don't know about the body language. I didn't saw him, I didn't saw the footage, so I can't say much. But apart from that, honestly, all the love from the fans and the people was I did not expect that at all when I binned it in the wall. So that was nice.
Yeah. Thank you, Isack. Next one, please. Yeah.
Yes, Laurent Dupin, Canal+. For you, Alex, as you've been part of the Red Bull junior team, and so it's a great opportunity. It can be hard also. Helmut Marko can be hard. Do you have any tips to give to Isack about bouncing back after this first difficult race and more in general for the season?
I mean, I don't see it so much of a setback. I think Isack had a fantastic start to his Formula One career. I think the pace was surprisingly strong, actually, from all the rookies for a weekend in Australia where the track is very difficult. I was surprised how quick the rookies took up to speed. But I think it's been a good start for him. I think he's going to be someone we're looking out on for the rest of the year for sure.
But Alex, any advice on how to navigate Dr. Marko?
Enjoy it. Enjoy the process.
Okay. Thank you for that. Next, Albert. Yep.
Albert Fábrega, ESPN Latam. Question for Lando. Lando, first time leading the championship. Still very early in the season, but this is adding an extra pressure to you. What's your feeling before you start the second Grand Prix?
Nope. Yeah. I said it in one of the interviews. I just makes no difference for me at the minute. I'm not thinking about it. I don't really care about it. It shouldn't change anything I do. It shouldn't change what the team do. I had one good weekend. People need to calm down a little bit. But no, I stay focused and I try and do the same here this weekend. But yeah, I probably won't even think of the championship until at least halfway through the year.
Thank you, Lando. Yep.
Hi, Lando. Do you think this new technical directive on the wings are going to change much on the car balance and speed? Or
Nope. It's we don't have to change anything. Ours is fine. In fact, ours was probably too good, and we probably are not pushing the limits enough, honestly. So no, already if this technical directive was applied for last weekend, we'd also be fine. So it's not directed at us, it seems. It's directed at all other teams. Yeah, which probably means we need to push it a little bit more.
Thank you.